Sarah drives up a narrow, overgrown path, the wheels of her car crunching on gravel. The forest thickens, and she glimpses the silhouette of a small, dilapidated cabin at the edge of a foggy creek. The air feels unnaturally still, as if even the trees are watching her. Sarah hesitates at the door, hearing faint rustling from the woods behind her. Pushing the door open, she steps inside. The cabin is old, with creaky floors and dusty furniture covered in cobwebs. A chill greets Sarah as she enters, the musty smell of decay hanging in the air. The coldness seems to seep from the very walls, sending a shiver down her spine. As she explores the small cabin, Sarah's fingers trace odd, cryptic carvings on the wooden walls. The symbols are strange, unfamiliar, and vaguely unsettling. Suddenly, the wind picks up outside, rattling the windows violently. Sarah glances outside but can only see swirling fog. The sense of isolation deepens. She feels an inexplicable presence in the room, like unseen eyes following her movements. Her breath catches as the cabin creaks around her. A soft voice, barely audible, whispers Sarah's name. She freezes, her heart racing as the eerie sound seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. Sarah moves cautiously toward the back of the cabin, where the whisper seemed to come from. There's nothing but shadows and the ever-present cold. The whisper grows louder, now echoing throughout the entire cabin. Sarah's pulse quickens as she clutches the edge of a dusty table for support. In the corner of her eye, Sarah sees movement, a dark figure, blurred and shifting. She spins around, but there's nothing there. Only the shadows remain. Her panic rises as soft footsteps echo on the wooden floor, circling her. She looks around wildly, but sees nothing. The cabin feels smaller, the walls closing in. The whispers become clearer, forming words. Leave now. The voice is soft but urgent, sending a chill through her. She's unsure if she's imagining it, or if the cabin truly wants her gone. Without warning, the door slams shut behind her, making her jump. The room is now filled with an eerie silence, broken only by her own breathing. She rushes to the door and pulls, but it doesn't move. It feels like something is holding it shut. Panic sets in as the whispers grow louder again. Suddenly, a freezing gust of air swirls around her, sending papers and dust flying through the room. The temperature drops drastically, and Sarah feels an unseen presence moving closer. In the corner of the room, Sarah spots an old key, half buried in dust. It's rusted and ancient, with strange symbols engraved on it. She picks it up, hoping it will open the door. Sarah inserts the key into the lock, her hands trembling. It fits perfectly, and she feels a strange sense of relief wash over her. The door creaks open, and Sarah steps outside into the cold, foggy night. The wind howls through the trees, but the whispers seem to have stopped. As Sarah moves away from the cabin, she feels the forest around her come alive with unseen movement. The branches above creak, and the ground seems to shift beneath her feet. Just as she thinks she's escaped, the whispers return, louder and more frantic. They echo all around her, following her through the forest. A dark figure appears ahead of her, standing motionless in the path. Sarah freezes, her heart pounding as she stares at the figure. It doesn't move, but its presence is overwhelming. Terrified, Sarah turns and runs, her footsteps echoing in the still night. She doesn't look back, but the presence of the figure lingers behind her, growing closer. Sarah stumbles on a tree root and falls to the ground. The whispers grow deafening, filling her head with unintelligible words. She covers her ears, but they only grow louder. Suddenly, the whispers stop, leaving only an eerie silence. Sarah looks up, breathless, and finds herself alone in the dark forest. The shadowy figure is gone, but the unease remains.